Good afternoon. Hi, ECE teachers. I know we're starting to embark on our process of discovering technology to use in our classrooms. So I want to take a moment just to show you a couple of projects that have been funded by Donor Shoes, because I know that you guys are working on, if you haven't already registered for a Donor Shoes account, I just want to show you the benefits of projects that have already been funded, specifically projects in early childhood with iPads. So let me go ahead and get my screen ready. All right, as I said, we're going to look at some ECE technology projects that was funded by donorshoes.org. My name is Monique Copeland, as you guys already know. Let's go ahead and take a look and see what impact Donor Shoes have had in ECE classrooms. So Donor Shoes was started in 2000. And since 2000, Donor Shoes has raised $650,165,854. They've funded projects over a million of them. They've helped over 27 million students. That's the schools that are participating. And I thought it was interesting to note that the majority of these supporters are first-time givers to public schools. Over 3 million first-time givers. So already in 2018, as you can see right here in the green, already in 2018, Donor Shoes has already funded projects over $20 million contributed to already in 2018. And this is based on all the way up to March. It just was updated last week, March 24th. So here is a project that I got funded my last year as a teacher in a pre-kindergarten classroom. So I submitted a project for 4 iPads back in June 2016, and by May 22nd, my project was already funded. So that's just a little bit over 2 weeks. So in the project, I requested 4 mini iPads with Wi-Fi, 16 gigabytes, because I wanted to have space for my children to actually take pictures of the things that they're doing with the iPads. Like they went on letter hunts. Some of them will record their rendition of our alternative ending for a story that we read already in the classroom, things like that. Now, security was definitely a concern of mine. Like, how am my children going to use these iPads independently without breaking them? Because I didn't want to have to buy any more. So I also requested the shock-proof cases that you pictured here, and I got them color-coded because I knew I wanted to use them for sensors, and I wanted to create groups so that kids could independently share with other students in the classroom, and made like a protocol and a system on how they could do that. So you can see in the picture, there's 4 color-coded ones. So there's a pink one, a green, blue, and gray. And that's how the teams were. Typically, I had about 4 or 5 kids per color. And you can see in the picture underneath the technology center sign where the kids' names were listed. So that's also name recognition as well. So technology projects have been funded in pre-K on Donor Shoes, not just here in DC, like the example I gave you, but even in Texas. So it's a nationwide initiative. In this project, I just want to show you guys that this project was not as expensive as mine. Let me go back. I didn't even tell you how much mine costs. This project, the 4 iPads came up to about $1,200 on for this project, and that was funded. So that's still pretty good. 2 weeks for $1,200 is pretty good. This project was a little bit cheaper. It was $465 to fund this project. I believe this pre-K teacher was asking for iPads to work on computers for early literacy. And she received, it was at $179. So it's typically, I've noticed with the projects on Donor Shoes that they have different funders, and sometimes they have discounts based on the funding for that time frame. So that's probably why this one is a little bit cheaper. And you definitely want to look at that when you're funding your project. And this was funded in 2 weeks. So it looks like it's pretty much on an average of 2 weeks. She only got 2 iPads, so that's also probably why hers is a little bit less expensive. Now, sometimes you might start off a project with donor shoes and then you say, you know what, I only asked for two. I would like to get more iPads. So this teacher, that's something that's pretty common on donor shoes. So I did want to show you that even though this isn't a pre-K teacher, um, this project was still funded, and she asked for three more tablets for independent learning, and it was funded in 4 days. So that's definitely something that if you later on realize that, okay, I started off and this is going really well, I want to add more iPads, or I want to get headphones to add with my iPads. I want to also fund a project for applications for my iPads. That's definitely something that's the norm and perfectly acceptable in donor shoes. So hopefully this gave you some ideas on projects for donor shoes for specifically for early childhood, and just gave you some confidence that it's not a tedious process and it can be done within 2 weeks or funded within 2 weeks. And you'll see the process in the next module in regards to how donor shoes work. This is the one phase of the process, and then later you'll notice that there's a time frame. Even though it gets funded in 2 weeks, there's also the follow-up project for thank yous, and then after that, they have seasons on when they ship out fully funded projects, the materials for the fully funded project. So typically it takes about 6 months. 2 weeks to get funded. Then your thank you project, you have about 2 months to get the thank you project in. And then depending on what time of the year you apply for the project on donor shoes, that determine when you will actually receive the materials. So in our case, at both Simon and Minor, we're looking to do this to put the funding in or the application in May, and we should receive it by the product should come in by the beginning of the next school year, so around August, September. I'm looking forward to any questions that you have. I'll see you guys soon. If you have any questions, please feel free to go to the blog, the Innovative Cafe blog. Talk to you guys later.